Guys, welcome back. I found a calendar that verifies and confirms the dates that we have been quoting on previous videos. And let's kind of review what we went over. And we were looking at the temple scroll that were found in the Dead Sea Scrolls. And what we were looking at, the Israelites 2,000 years ago during Jesus' time broke down Pentecost into three separate feasts. And the first one that they celebrate was called the Feast of New Grain, and that was held in the third month on the 15th day of the third month, which is Sivan 15. And the second feast, what we're looking at, is the Feast of New Wine, and that is celebrated 50 days after this one. And the first one is 50 days from the first Sabbath after first fruits. That's defined in Leviticus 23. And finally, there's the Feast of New Oil, which is sometime in September. But the one that we are looking at and zeroing in is the Feast of New Wine. So let's kind of review what we talked about. And the first thing we looked at was, when is the 15th day of the third month, or in other words, Sivan 15. And what we determined was that Sivan 15 was June the 7th, which is right here, June the 7th. That's the 15th of Sivan. Now, this date is actually 50 days from the first Sabbath after first fruits. So let's take a look at that. We went back on the calculator, and we went back and we subtracted. We took June the 7th and deducted 50 days, and that gave us Saturday, April the 18th, 2020. Okay, let's see where that is. Here we are in April, and here's Passover right here, and this is first fruits, when Jesus rose from the grave. This is Sunday morning. Remember, Mary came up to Jesus. He said, "Touch me not, I have not ascended." In other words, he hadn't taken his blood sacrifice to the throne of God at that time. And the first Sabbath after first fruits is, lo and behold, the 18th. From that, again, by Leviticus 23, you count, it said you count 7 Sabbaths, and they must be complete. 7 Sabbaths is 49 days, okay? And then, after the 7th Sabbath, you are to count 50 days. So 50 and 49 is a total of 99 days. And there's previous videos, there's detailed analysis going through the structure of the language of Leviticus 23 that's showing that it's a two count. One of 49 days, and another one of 50 days, for a total of 99 days. So let's take a look at that. And we added, go back to our calculator, we added from April the 18th, which is the date that they're keying off of 2,000 years ago. We added 99 days, and that brought us to our date of Sunday, July the 26th, 2020. Okay, let's go back to that calendar and see what they have come up with. Okay, this is a calendar. It's called the Urim calendar, and let's kind of read. This calendar is an accumulation from the contributions of scholars, theologians, and fellow laborers in Yeshua. Many past and present have contributed to the most extensive research of the Urim calendar to date. This expression can work by the guidance of the set-apart Spirit. We continue to learn and apply the details of understanding by the Spirit. What is interesting about this? Let's see what they... Why are you messed up? Okay, there it is. Let's go through this. There's our traditional Pentecost, which is the 15th day of the third month, which is Sivan 15, but they show it's the third Sunday of the Jewish month, which is June the 7th. Okay, that is our traditional Pentecost. And let's go on. The Pentecost of first fruits, they have it down here that it's the 5th month, and they have it down here as the first Sunday of the 5th month. In other words, that date right there. Okay, the first Sunday of the 5th month is the first fruits of new wine. Let's go back and look at that. Here's July. We go down to the first Sunday. Here's the 5th month, starting of the 5th month, the 22nd. And they have the first Sunday of the 5th month, and that is our date, July the 26th. Now, depending on what area that you're in, true Pentecost would start the 25th to the 26th, and depending on what date, what time zone that you're in. Okay, let's discuss something interesting that's coming up. This is a 20-year-old prophecy that World War III is going to start this summer, and this guy predicted that it's going to start with a conflict between China and America, and it will ignite World War III. And let's go down here. He says that China and Russia will have a coordinated attack on the United States, and at the same time, China and Russia, here it is here. It will be China, Iran, and Russia. And China and Russia will attack the United States, and Iran will simultaneously attack Israel. at that time. And another prophetic, and I'll give the links to all this in the comment section. But another one, and this is like 100-year-old prophecy. He accurately predicted World War II to the year, and he said that this war is going to start, World War III is going to start 75 years after World War II, and which is this summer. And he said it's going to be this summer. And what is interesting, this last week of July includes the 9th of Av. And what is interesting that I found about the 9th of Av is both world wars, World War I and World War II, began on the 9th of Av, along with all kinds of other bad stuff happening to Israel. Like they were kicked out of Spain on the 9th of Av. They were kicked out, expelled from England on the 9th of Av. Major wars have been fought on the 9th of Av. Both temples were destroyed on the 9th of Av. And this was the date of the Israelites believing the false spy report, coming back, scoping out the land. So let's go on. Let me pull up a calendar here and show you this last week could be very, very eventful. So we have the potential rapture date here of the 25th, 26th, and the 9th of Av, 3-4 days away, is right there on the 30th. So the last week could be very eventful. Anyway, guys, get right with the Lord. See you in heaven. And I'll put all the links in the comment section. God bless.